Peace, prosperity, and abundance. Welcome to Earth Goddess TV. Hello, Earth Goddess gang, and for newcomers, welcome. I hope you stay. Welcome to basically my revisory video. For those of you who have been following me, I would definitely make a separate video on why I decided to basically revamp my channel and why I decided to basically delete all of the old videos. So what I'm going to talk about today is basically the introduction to astrology. Now, what I want to get into in this very first video, I want to get into what astrology is, basically my belief in it, and basically the natal chart or birth wheel that you see once you basically go online and put up your birth chart or natal information. You'll also see a wheel. So what I'm going to do today is explain basically the things that's going on within that wheel. So once you pull up your birth chart, you'll have a better understanding of what you're looking at once you pull it up. So basically, for me, in layman's terms, astrology is basically just the study of the stars and the planets, and within that, a lot of people believe that it is a pseudoscience. Now, in my opinion, I really don't agree with that because I feel like we are more than just this physical body. And once we do pass, we go back into the cosmos, the heavens, basically the stardust. So with that, it's not a stretch to say that it is a possibility that whatever's going on in the astrological realm with the stars and the planets, that it can have some effect on our daily affairs or anything in the world. Now, I'm going to put this disclaimer out there. No, astrology does not rule or take over your life. You still have the free will to make decisions and guide your life wherever you see fit. So, no, astrology is not the end all be all. But astrology to me is unique because it gives you kind of a heads up and basically an inner look at who you are overall on a level that they never really teach in school. So, with that, astrology has actually changed my life. For me, it's helped me to understand who I am on an interpersonal level and understand strengths and weaknesses. So therefore, now that I'm more aware of these things, I can put certain things into place so I'm not a victim to whatever may be happening in the unseen world, and I'm not aware of it because I'm not really knowledgeable about astrology and the planets and the stars and things of that nature. So for me, when I think of astrology, it's like giving you a head start on things that are going on, in the unseen realm, so you won't be a victim to it. And it's nice to know yourself on an internal level and work on weaknesses or strengths or strengthen those strengths. So this is really going to be an astrology based channel. If you do not like astrology, you probably will not like this channel. So that is what astrology for me is in a nutshell. So also what I wanted to talk about today, family, but before I get into my content, if you all are not familiar, I do have a home-based candle page, and basically you can go over to Earth Goddess underscore candles on Instagram, and that's where I'll be currently taking orders until my website is up. And I do have the holiday scents available, which is Texas pecan pie, and I'll also have pumpkin spice latte, and I also have the Fruit Loops new fragrance. That is my new fragrance. Now, I did say I wanted to go in a different direction with this channel, family, so I decided, I had been doing this thing where I had been working with my intuition, and I created like a word of the day / affirmation jar. It was like an old candy dish that basically I decided to decorate and put like a whole bunch of affirmations and words in them. So this is what I have so far, family. I'm not really finished, but your girl puts in a little work. This is my word affirmation. So I just put in like a whole bunch of affirmations and words that I thought would be nice to pull out. And the two that came out for me was, the first one was, if you all can see this, be bold. That was the first one I took out. And the second one was take the leap. Now, these were actually on time for me, and I don't know who else needs to hear this, but I can say for me personally, the Be Bold and Take the Leap was basically very telling to the changes and transformations that I'm going through in my life right now, personally and on a career level. So this was right on time for me. I don't know who else needs to hear this, but please be bold in whatever it is, in whatever area you need to be bold in your life. Take charge, you know, be bold, unapologetic in all that you do. And the second one was take the leap. So take the leap to, maybe start your own business. Take the leap to apply for that higher paying position. Take the leap to change your eating habits and create a diet exercise plan. So I don't know who that's for, but that's what I got, and this was very telling to, where I am in my life. So I am going to add that to the segments because I think it is neat, and it can also be a way to spread messages to, whoever out there needs to hear these messages. So now what we'll do, we'll get into the zodiac well. Now, if you go on Google and type in natal chart, birth chart, what they'll do is have you put in your information, your birth, your full birth, the time, the city, state, and basically it'll populate basically like a summary of each planet and each house. Then what you'll see is like a circle chart, and it looks like a pie. And basically within this circle chart and pie, it's divided into 12 pieces, and the 12 pieces aka basically represents the 12 zodiac, Aries through Pisces, and that is on the outer portion of the wheel. It will be your 12 zodiacs. Now once you go inner, in the inner portion, you see those lines that are divided up into 12 pieces as well. Those are also considered housings. Now, in astrology, the houses represent basically different areas in life, whether it's family, your roots, your work environment, your education, your spirituality, the taboo subjects, death, all areas of life. These houses represent that in astrology. So, within those houses, you should have a planet and a sign in each house. Now, normally, depending on your chart, sometimes all your houses may not have a planet or a sign in them. And those are said to be empty houses, but there's really not a such thing as an empty house in astrology. So basically what you'll do if you find that you think you have an empty house, what you'll do is go back to the outer part of that zodiac wheel, and whatever sign is residing over that house, that would be basically your sign ruler for that house if you do not have a current planet or sign within that house. So the next portion of the wheel I want to bring basically attention to is the whole wheel itself. Now, if you look at the whole wheel itself, you can also divide it into 4 parts. And basically within those 4 parts, you have your vertical axes and you have your horizontal axes. So within the horizontal line, you have your ascendant and you have your descendant. And within that vertical line, you have your midheaven on the top and you have your mi column on the bottom. So those are the 4 different points on the chart, and within those points you have quadrants. Now the quadrants again can be broken down into 4s, and there are 4 of them. So the bottom portion of the quadrants of the vertical axis represents introverted, and the top level it represents extroverted. And basically it'll be ways and areas in your life that you'll be introverted and ways and area in life that you'll be extroverted. So you have your first quadrant, which will be covering your first, I believe, through the 3rd house. Then you will have your second quadrant. Then you have your third. Then you have your 4th. So basically, within those quadrants, the first quadrant, if you have more planets and activity towards the bottom half of that, it will say that basically that's more of the focus in your chart in this lifetime, is basically saying that you are more introverted when it comes to things that are more about the self and the values and how you think and how you feel. Now, if you have most of the majority of your planets and your signs in the other portion in the second quadrant, of the introverted half, it means that you'll be more introverted in more of your environment, your family, your roots, your creativity, your work area, your approach. More of that in an introverted matter. Now let's jump up to the fourth quadrant. Within the fourth quadrant, basically this represents the extroverted part, and basically in this part, in the third quadrant, it's just saying that you'll be more extroverted in your external world and basically your interpersonal relationships. Then you have the last quadrant, which is the fourth quadrant, and basically saying this will be, you will basically express yourself in an introverted way when it comes to like your personal pursuits, your personal achievements, your career, and things of that nature. So also what I meant to mention, family, like if you ever look at a map and you know you have your directions, where's your north, south, east, west, in astrology, the rules are different. Just the directions are actually reversed. So instead of the south being down and the north being up top, actually north is below, which would be the northern hemisphere of the chart, and the southern hemisphere of the chart would be at the top, the eastern would be to the left, and the western would be to the right. So also the directions are actually reversed in astrology as well. So that was basically it for the actual chart and the pie itself, family. I definitely hope that you are able to get as much information as you can as far as I'm looking at the zodiac wheel and able to basically break it down and look at each section like I broke it down, so you have a better understanding of what you're looking at in your chart. So again, for your quadrants, if again a lot of your focus is on maybe the lower portion of your chart or the upper portion, that'll just show you basically the area in which you choose to focus on in this life. So family, again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, if you have any interest in any handcrafted candles, remember the 3 available scents that I have, which is the pecan Texas pie. We also have the pumpkin spice latte, and my new available scent is Fruit Loops. Make sure you run over to earthgoddess_candles on Instagram, and that is where I am currently taking orders. And I will see you all on the next upload, and I hope you like the introduction to astrology.